Right, so we have one video this week, and it's going to be over lessons 48, 49, and 50. Since they're all short, we're just going to do one video. So lesson 48 is on fractions, decimals, and percents, and their equivalents, and basically turning a fraction into a decimal or into a percent. So that's what I have going on up here. So we know that 1/2 is a fraction. If we were to write it as a decimal, I think most of we already know it's 0.5. And then as a percent, it's 50%, because half of 100% is 50. So then I have another example over here. We have 1/2. So that's our mixed number or fraction. So what would that look like as a decimal? Well, we know that 1/2, 0.5 is what it looks like as a decimal. So 1.5 would be 1/2 as a decimal. If we want to turn it into a percent, we would do 1.5 times 100 and get 150. All right, so then lesson 49 is on mixed numbers, or sorry, mixed measures. So we basically have different measurements that we're adding together. So if we look at my example, is going to be, we have 1 yard, 2 feet, and 7 inches. So we've measured something, and it measures 1 yard, 2 feet, and 7 inches. And then we are going to add 2 yards, 2 feet, and 8 inches to it. And we need to know how to do that, or what that would look like. So we're going to put it up underneath it according to its measurements, or its units. So the 2 yards is going to come under the 1 yard, because they're like units. And then we have 2 feet, so we add that to our 2 feet over here. And then we have 8 inches is left. So our equation is 1 yard plus 2 yards, that's 3 yards. 2 feet plus 2 feet is 4 feet. 7 inches plus 8 inches is going to be 15 inches. All right, so then the answer here is 3 yards, 4 feet, and 15 inches. So if we look at our conversions, though, we know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So there's 3 feet in a yard. And then there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So this is 15 inches. So if there are 12 inches in 1 foot, we know that we're already over a foot here. And then if there are 3 feet in a yard, then we are already over a yard here as well. So we just need to adjust those. Excuse me. So this one, we can take one of these feet away and put it over here. So we'll have 4 yards, 3 feet, and then 15 inches. And then we know there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So we're going to take 12 of those inches away and add it over here to make another foot, which is going to give it 4 feet. And then we have 3 inches left. But then again, we have 4 feet again, so we need to cross it off and add it to our yards over here. So I'm going to put it over here. So it's 5 yards, 3 feet, 3 inches is our final total. So that's one of them. So again, just to review, we started out with 1 yard, 2 feet, 7 inches, and we needed to add 2 yards, 2 feet, and 8 inches. We add it straight down, we get 3 yards, 4 feet, 15 inches. Looking at our conversions, there are 3 feet in 1 yard and 12 inches in 1 foot. So we looked here and saw that we have 4 feet, which means we actually have a yard in there, so we can pull that out. And it's going to be, oh, sorry, I messed that up. So if we pull that out, we only have 1 foot left. I'm so sorry. So we have 4 yards, 1 foot, and 15 inches because we pulled 3 of them over there to make a yard. All right, and then we still have the 15 feet because we're over, or sorry, 15 inches because we're already over a foot. So we're going to take 12 of them and put it here. So we have 4 yards, 2 feet, 3 inches. So we had originally 3 yards, 4 feet, 15 inches. 4 feet is over a yard, so we take it away, take the feet away to add a yard, giving us 1 foot left. We just brought the 15 inches down. 15 inches is over a foot, so we take 15 of them away and add it to the feet here and write down what we have left. So the final answer is 4 yards, 2 feet, 3 inches. And we're going to do one more. All right, so we have 2 hours, 40 minutes, 35 seconds, 2 hours, 40 minutes, 35 seconds, plus 1 hour, 45 minutes, 50 seconds. So again, the first thing we're going to do is just add straight down. So we have 2 plus 1 is 3 hours. 40 plus 45 is going to be 85 minutes. And then we will have 85 seconds. All right, so then in our conversions, we know that 60 minutes equals 1 hour and 60 seconds equals 1 minute. So then we pull, look here, 85 is going to be over those 60 minutes, so we have an hour in there. So we pull the 60 from it and add it over to our hour. So this is going to be 4 hours over here and 26 minutes left. And we still got the 85 seconds. And the 85 seconds is over 60, so we're over a minute. So then we're going to pull from that 85. And that's going to give us 25 seconds left. And then we added it there. Oh, sorry. Sorry, my math brain is not on today. This is 25. And then we add from here is 26. All right, so let me try it again as I explain it. So we have 2 hours, 40 minutes, 30 seconds, plus 1 hour, 45 minutes, 50 seconds. We're going to add it straight down. We get 3 hours, 85 minutes, 85 seconds. We write down our conversions. 60 minutes equals 1 hour. 60 seconds equals 1 minute. So now we're going to look back at our first answer and see if any of that is over our conversion rate. So the first that we see is we had 85 minutes, which means we're over an hour. So we're going to take 60 minutes from that to add. So we have 4 hours, and then that means 25 seconds or 25 minutes left. We bring this over here, and we see the 85 seconds. So 85 is over our 60 seconds, so we have a minute in there. So we cross that off, which gives us 25 seconds left. We add it over to our minute, which gives us 26 minutes. So our final answer is 4 hours, 26 minutes, 25 seconds. So basically, with our mixed measures, we're going to line up our measurements according to where they go, add them straight down, and then write out our conversions over to the side and look back at our original answer to make sure that none of those are over our conversions. So the 26 seconds, we don't have a minute in there. 26 minutes, we don't have an hour, and then there's nothing over an hour, so that would stay there. So then same thing when we did earlier with the yards. we made sure that the feet, we had less feet, that way wouldn't go over and equal a yard, and then we did the same thing with the inches to make sure that they didn't equal a foot. So you're basically adding it all up and then reducing it into its lowest form, but it's actually the lowest form for each individual measurement and not the thing as a whole. Right, and then now we're going to do lesson 50. And lesson 50 is on unit multipliers and unit conversions. So we got unit multipliers and unit conversions. All right, so our steps with this is basically our setup. It's also going to be known as a setup. So the way that we set it up is we're going to have our given measure times our unit multiplier is going to equal our converted measure. So we have our given measure times our unit multiplier equals our converted measure. Right. So then we already said we know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So we're just going to leave that over there and do some problems with it. So the first one we have, we're given 240 yards and we need to convert it to feet. So 240 yards converted to feet. So we're going to use this equation to set it up. So our given measure is 240 yards. So we have 240 yards. And then we're going to multiply it by our unit multiplier. And we know that there are 3 feet in a yard. So we have 3 feet in 1 yard because we're converting to feet. So it goes on top and the yard is going to go on the bottom of our equation. And the yards are going to cancel themselves out. So we would multiply 240 by 3 to get 720, and feet is what's left. So we had yards across the bottom, so they canceled each other out. We multiplied 240 by 3 to get 720, and feet was the measurement that was left because yards canceled themselves out. Right, so we're going to try going 240 feet to yards. So now instead of yards to feet, we're going feet to yards. So we know our given measure is 240 feet. And then this time we're going from feet to yards. So our feet is going to be on the bottom. So we know that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So our feet cancel themselves out. So this time we were going to divide 240 into 3 because this is at the bottom. And that's going to give us 80 yards. Because yards is the measurement that's left. So if our given measure is lined up with the bottom of the fraction that we have left, we divide it. If our given measure is not lined up, so the number that we're converting to is on top, then we multiply it because this is making bigger. There are more feet in yards. And that's why this is a smaller one, because there are less yards that make up a foot. Or sorry, there are more feet in a yard than there are vice versa. And we're going to try one more. So this one we're going to go just across the metric system. So we have 350 millimeters to centimeters. And if you need to remember how the metric system works, it's King, Henry, drank, unusually, dark, chocolate, milk. So that's kilo, hecto, deca, unit. So that's meters, liters, ounces. It's the basic unit there. And then deci, centi, milli. So we have millimeters down here to centimeters. So we're going from here to here. So we're going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit. All right. So then we're going to set it up. Our given measure is 350 millimeters. And looking at it, there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. Because if we start here, when we go to millimeters, we're only going over once. So we're moving a decimal over once. So that would give us 10. So if we started with 1 centimeter, and we want to know how many millimeters there are, we're moving that decimal point over. So that gives us 10. Right? So then our millimeters are going to cross themselves off. And it's on the bottom, so we're dividing 350 by 10, which gives us 35 centimeters. So again, whenever we set up our equation, our given measure, whatever we're converting to goes on top of our fraction that we have here. And if our number is on the bottom, we're dividing it. If the number is on the top, we're multiplying it to get the answer. And that is lessons 48, 49, and 50. Again, I'm so sorry that it took so long to get your video up, but here you go. Have a happy Thanksgiving.